Hello everyone, welcome to DAT 2321, which is also called 3D animation. This video here is just to function as a bit of general information in the class or of the class because we will be doing this class as a hybrid. So if I was to go to our syllabus and take a look at that, you can see that it is, hybrid online and classroom. So what this is referring to is not the fact that you can be um, the hybrid part does not refer to whether you can be online or in the classroom. That is always the case for these classes. Just like with fundamentals of 3D, you can come to the real physical classroom or you can come to the virtual classroom. No, the hybrid refers to the part that our class is only an hour and a half. Potentially ignore any dates up here because this is just for any semester we teach this class. The class is only an hour and a half, and that is not enough time to do everything. So just like with fundamentals of 3D, you will need to keep an eye on the announcements page. There will be other supplemental videos. Usually it will be a walkthrough of the homework. This first week, our walkthrough of the homework is in class because it's the first class, but eventually more and more of the walkthroughs will be up here in announcements, and we will be using our lecture time to learn other things. This week, your video is just this video. I'm just going over kind of the outlines of the class. A lot of this you will already be familiar with because you have taken the 3D fundamentals class with me. But essentially, it goes like this. You can find your syllabus here, which will list the basics of the class, the fact that you don't have any books, but you need to have some way of storing your materials, and you need a 3-button mouse, potentially even more so than with the modeling. Just navigating around, you need a $7 3-button mouse. If you are using a trackpad and you're telling me that takes more time, well, that was your choice to not buy that required material or find one or something. So it really is it's a huge time saver um, in a very real way, and it's the only thing that we have to get for this class. Maya itself is still 3, so hopefully you still have it from last year. I believe the school computers are still running Maya 2024. I have multiple versions, so you don't have to worry about that, at least with me looking at your stuff. But if we're trying to look at the stuff during class for the presentations, that can be a little bit tricky if you have something more up to date. But you'll still be able to hand it in. I'll still be able to look at it and grade it and everything. My email address is still the same. So please contact me there for any and all questions that you think of in between classes. This really is, this really is a big deal there. Let's see here. Attendance and absence and things, that's the same as before. You are required to be in class. There's no excused, unexcused. There's here and not here. And if you are present in class, you should be present in class. You should be either asking questions or answering questions or contributing to the conversation. That's how you get full participation points. Everyone gets 1 week's class equivalent of missing class because things happen. We're human. We get sick. Tires blow up on the road to getting to school. But that you get the 1. You can make up homework by watching the videos and by watching the recordings of class, but you cannot make up the class participation. Here's our week-to-week schedule. As always, you'll see a more up-to-date version of your particular semester here, and it's in the syllabus, and it's there just as a guideline. It's not the real due dates because those can shift. The real due dates are under assignments, and then each assignment will have them listed. You can see I forgot to, update this from 2024 in here. So if you ever see that, if you ever see a past year listed in one of the assignments, please just let me know. I know when you guys submit things, I do know that you're submitting them this year and that that's appropriate. But if it's bothering you that you see that it says it's late, feel free to just contact me. I will gladly update it. We do have to update these manually. That's why your teacher sometimes miss things. But all of your assignments will be posted here under assignments. They will stack on top of each other, so the most recent thing will be most recent, and we'll list the due date, some of the details of what's expected, some of the metrics you need to hit or things you need to look out for. And most of what we do in this class is going to have Maya files with it. because we need to be provided with rigs, right? So, you know, in early weeks, we have just a bunch of stuff that can get animated, but later on, we're going to have like characters, bouncing balls, and other things like that. All right. So you will be provided with those files. We'll learn a little bit about rigging in this class, but mostly we're going to be doing animation. As always, your grades will be under my grades. The things will show up as we get to those assignments. And eventually here there will be, stand by. There we go, made it live. So over here, we will have our virtual classroom, which you can click on. And at whatever time your class is scheduled, you'll see all of them listed for future weeks going on through. And once we have had any sessions, if you click the hamburger menu, you will see a section for recordings. So once we have actually had class, the recordings of them will be here. They stay up the entire semester. So you can, if you don't see anything previous to a month beforehand, you say recordings in a range and you can set an earlier range. They do not disappear. You have access to them the whole semester. So if you miss class or if you were blanking during class, your first step is to actually go back and rewatch some of that. If your questions are about the homework, your first step will be to watch whatever walkthrough videos are posted here so that you can have a better idea of what we're doing. You should watch those anyways, because there's usually some specific directions in there for the homework. All right, but we're going to be very much in a Blackboard ecosystem this time as well. Most of the announcements will not be emailed to you. Occasionally I will, just if it's like really important. But yes, if you're ever missing anything or you're wondering about something, check your grades first. Make sure you can see, I still owe these projects, or you can see what your grade is. You can see information on what I said. Just like just like in fundamentals, your feedback will usually be in the form of a video, because that's the easiest way to give you the feedback for something that's moving. And so you check your grades, see what's missing, see what needs to be done, then go back to assignments, look at the list of things that was asked for, see if there's something you need to add, or if you're just doing the assignment the first time. You can watch old videos in the virtual classroom, right? So you can watch the old classes. And remember that there will be walkthrough videos that are separate from what we do in class under the announcements page, and those will become more and more independent as we go through these first few weeks. Um, but that is kind of the overview of just everything. You know, contacting me will work the same. Email me if it's any off time. You know, either send a screenshot or send the file so that I can help you, like actually help you, you know, work through whatever the problem is. Please do not say, "Oh, I'm just having trouble." Please, like, you know, find the part of the file that's working funny and take a screenshot, or tell me it's at this point in the timeline, or, you know, specifically say this thing is moving weird, this thing won't let me select it, this thing disappeared. um, Give me specifics to work with, because if you just say I'm having trouble, I'm going to just have to write you back and say I need more details, right? So skip that step. All right, and again, if you have any questions, my email is all over the place. Otherwise, we have our first class this week, and we'll get situated in Maya again. Um, and oh, the one other software that you will need. It's nope, we don't actually. Nope, not in this class. So you're all good. It's just the Maya that you're going to need for this semester. We are working in Maya. Please do not do this work in another 3D software and then port it in. Um, please stick with what we're doing. The skills will transfer somewhere else for you, in terms of animation skills. And yes, so we have our first class this week. This is our supplemental video for this week, and we'll have further more of these a little bit longer coming up in future weeks.